Davis, the biggest question about your line is the right side of it. Could you address where that is right now, both at guard and tackle?
We got a lot of guys in there working. We're a long way from deciding who it's going to be, but the competition so far has been excellent. And, you know, there's a lot of guys. Malcolm's playing well, Matt Burrell's playing well, Knox is in there playing well, Bowen's really playing well. He may end up in that spot. So right now we're just trying to develop some fundamental toughness, get the fundamentals and things in, and then start working them. But right now, it's a wide open competition.
And Isaiah, right tackle, Coach Myers said he's one of the most improved players on the team in all ways.
So far, so good. You know, he struggled at times last year, and he's taken that to heart. His off-season's been outstanding, and what we've done so far, his attention to detail and the work ethic and the little things he's been doing are tremendous.
When you have a guy like that who struggles and clearly got down about it, what's the challenge in rebuilding his confidence?
Well, the challenge is to show him why he made the mistakes. Because, you know, it's like anything else. When guys start making mistakes, the first thing they do is they get down on themselves. What you've got to do is revert back to your training, trust your technique, and that was his first time starting. He made some mistakes. He saw those, he's worked on those, he's watched the film, he studied it, and now the difference in the kid is, like I just said, his attention to detail and the little things is not even close to where it was last year. He's focused, he's determined, and those are the things that make the difference.
I know cohesion is so important on an offensive line, Coach, but is there any chance at right guard you guys could rotate, or do you have to find, not rotate series to series or anything like that, but or do you guys have to find one guy that you're
No, you'd like to, but no, if it ends up being two guys, you'd love to be able to play two guys there. We'll see how that folds out, but we got a lot of time right now, and the best thing they're doing is giving effort, straining, and fighting for it. And, you know, there's nothing greater than competition. When there's an open job, guys fly around for it. And now we've got great competition, so we'll find out and see how it shakes out.
I know from talking in the spring, you said Malcolm needed to just do a better job of learning the playbook. The talent was there. Has he come a long way in that respect?
He's come a long way in that respect. Like I said, his MAs and what he's made mistakes on so far is more than cut in half from what it was in the spring. But he's still got a ways to go. And we're still putting more stuff in every day and adding and getting our offense in and finding out what we're going to do. So that's his challenge, to keep mentally stay on top of that stuff so that can allow himself to use his physical ability and play.
And what about Matthew Burrell? A little bit of a slow start to his career. He's come on. What's his progress been like?
Well, I think it's one of those things where you start to see young guys come in, and here you are, and those young guys are doing things, they're getting opportunities, and one day the switch goes off and you realize, I guess I better go. That's the best way I can describe what's happened to Matt. He's realized, I gotta go. This is my time, I've been here long enough. It's time to perform. And that's exactly how he's practicing. That's exactly how he's watching film. He's understood that, you know, it's his time now. And if not, someone's gonna go by you.
Is there a case where, I mean, every day it seems to change in your mind who's the leader at that position, or what?
Not every day, but you could say that, because certain guys have good days, certain guys have bad days, and like I said, that competition is wonderful because you don't have to say anything to him except go.
Did you, Greg Myers?
Really good. He's learning things. I'll tell you right now, he is so strong, physically strong, and he's an excellent run blocker. We've had to work on his pass blocking. You know, he was in that offense where it was just put four hands and run, come off and kill somebody. So he's learning to work on the pass protection, moving his feet. But he is a really strong physical run blocker. We're working on the rest of his game.
How's Wyatt stepping? I mean, what have you seen out of him? I mean, is he living up to what you thought he'd be?
No question. Wyatt was really good today. And him and Thayer, you know, they're coming in here. We're throwing things in, and every day something new's in. The defense puts another defense in, another thing in. Every day things pile on those two kids. And Josh Myers, even he was here in the spring. But, you know, those other two kids especially, they're handling it wonderful right now. And like I told them, just go hard. Learn to go hard first. We'll figure the rest out later.
I was going to say, where are you working those guys? I mean,
Thayer's going to work at right tackle, and Wyatt's in that right guard rotation.
Right, yeah.
No
and
question.
Brandon Bowen sounds like he's coming along. Coach Meyer was talking about him. Is he in the mix at tackle, guard, backup spots at both? Or?
Both.
Yeah.
Both. And he's played both so far now. He's played tackle and he's played guard. He's in the mix for both. And I've been on him, but I can't say enough about what he's done so far.
I know it's early, but the depth seems really good. Is that
unbelievable?
Okay.
It's way different from where it was last year. Yes, the confidence in guys. I mean, there's three guys in some spots that are getting reps because they're doing so well. So that's exciting. And again, that creates competition and lets you build a cohesive line.
Did you, kind of a straight up question, were there times when you held your breath last year, hoping you wouldn't have to go to the well? If you understand what I'm saying, Greg. I mean,
I do understand what you're saying. If you mean injury, somebody coming out last year.
Yeah.
I did hold my breath, absolutely. There's no question.
Are you having to hold your breath less this year? I mean,
Yeah, not as much.
Is that the sense?
I feel like I'm above air.
Yeah.
You know, I'm above air. I can breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
You're 100% correct. If someone would have got hurt last year, there was not that confidence in those backups at all.
Yeah.
Not that confidence at all.
Kevin said earlier.
It did.
So
you saw that.
How do you?
And that's why we're working so hard now. That's why we're trying guys now to build depth. So if something does happen at a crucial time when someone goes in, they're ready. They're not ready to fail. They're ready to get the job done, and we can count on them, and they're accountable to everybody on this team.
Kevin said an ideal situation is having 8 guys that can play. I mean, do you?
8 or 10.
Yeah, 8 or
I'm
10.
with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want to get a backup at tackle. You want to get a backup at guard. Obviously, you got to have a backup center. So if you have one, but if you have more than one, and I think right now we're on the path to have more than one. And I'm excited. We'll see how it pans out. It's still early, but we're on that path right now.
Who is the backup center? Yeah, who is the backup center? Is it Brady or is it
Right
Jack?
now it's Brady.
Okay.
And Jack's coming, and Jack's pushing really hard.
Who?
This offseason, at the end of last year, you guys took a lot of criticism. I don't want to read too much into one day, but now Urban is saying the offensive line was one of the best units on the field on Saturday. Does that feel
Like
good
you said, you don't want to read into one day. They don't need to read into one day. It was one day. It might have been an accident. You never know.
But you're supposedly going
What are you
against one of
seeing
the.
that's different now. I'm sorry if you answered that earlier.
No, I didn't. Partially, I guess I could say. What I'm seeing different is, you know, and it stems with what I said from Isaiah back to the whole group. When you face that criticism and you see that, you really look at what you need to do. Now all of a sudden how you approach things is different. How you go out there and approach practice is different. Why? Because you know those little mistakes from an offensive line point are going to get blown up and be on the front page. So now you know what? You pay attention. You fight. You strain. You don't let those things happen. And that's what all of them. Isaiah's obviously turned that around, but so is everybody else.
But
they understand that, so they want to make sure that they pay attention to detail and get the job done. Period.
So we should keep criticizing them?
Absolutely, keep doing it.
But to hear that, I mean, you know, to hear Urban Meyer talk and other people talk, this could be one of the deepest defensive line groups.
Oh, there's no doubt.
From a
we're
talent
not
standpoint.
going against.
Right.
We're not going against blocking dummies.
So it is a little bit of a compliment. I mean, when you hear that, right? I mean,
Well,
you understand
look,
what I'm saying, Greg?
I understand 100% what you're saying because I know who we go against every day. Those guys are really, really good. So the successful things we do against them, we can build off of those things. And then when we get beat, we learn why. And you know what? You come back the next day and you fight again. And that's what we're doing right now, but you're correct.
Greg, you mentioned Josh and Wyatt, and I know you can't talk about guys you have committed right now, but it just seems like you're on a roll a little bit with the offensive line recruiting, and that coincided with your arrival here. What's changed about the way you're recruiting that position, and now you're bringing in those high 4- or 5-star prospects?
It's like anything else. It's the emphasis that coach, number one, the emphasis Coach Meyer puts on it. Number two, look around, right? We got the best product in the country to sell, all right? And we put time. I'm putting time and effort to go in and out and find, and this staff, to find the best linemen in the country. And we're going to go out, and we're not going to just recruit them, we're going to get them. And we're putting a big focus on that, energy on that, and you got a great place to come to. That's why you're seeing those things.
What were the discussions like with Urban when you first got here? Because he's been pretty blunt that the offensive line recruiting was not always kind of up to snuff, and it's not to disparage any of the guys you have in your room, but just what were the conversations like when you got here about recruiting?
Just what he said. He wanted to upgrade the recruiting at the offensive line position. You don't have to hit me on the head twice. I know exactly what that means. Get your butt going, get working, find the best guys in the country, get them here, get a relationship with them, and let's go. And that's been the focus of our staff. And that, like you said, that's what the focus has been, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
Would you rather teach a wing T guy to pass block or a guy from like a spread pass offense to run block?
No, I'd rather teach the pass protection part. I want to, that old saying, if they bite, they come off the ball and they know how to run block and they're physical, I can teach them the other things.
Does Myers or Davis have a real shot to win that right guard job?
Oh yeah, as of right now, absolutely they do. They sure do. They're fighting right now, and it could be anybody right now.
Great. Coach,
Thanks, Coach.